100 years ago, most Americans died at home. The realities of death mirrored its spiritual significance. We died among our families and in our homes, among the people and in the places that shaped us. Now, although 70% of Americans say they would actually prefer to die at home, only about 30% of us actually do. Most of us spend our final moments in institutions ranging from nursing homes to hospice centers, and about 1 in 4 people over the age of 65 dies in an intensive care unit. What this big discrepancy between our expectations of death and its realities that are very highly medicalized does is it can pitch us into some very anguishing situations of discerning whether or not we would accept highly aggressive measures at the end of life. And in particular, it pitches our families into those questions of having to wrestle with what would my loved one want when he or she is incapacitated and can't speak for him or herself. What would he or she do? And overarching all of these questions too is, how does our faith play into this? How do we honor God's will in these situations? What would the Bible direct us to do? We lean into our faith, but because these circumstances are so foreign and so highly emotionally charged, we can really stumble to reconcile the truths that we proclaim in church every Sunday with the falling numbers on a hospital monitor. Knowing this huge divide between what actually happens at the end of life and what we want and expect, it's crucially important to have discussions with our family members ahead of time before a catastrophe strikes. Although 75% of us can't actually voice our wishes at the end of life because we are too sick to do so, or the technologies that are keeping us alive, like ventilators, rob us of our voice, only 1 in 4 Americans has an advance directive on file, meaning that only 1 in 4 of us has given our loved ones instructions about what to do when we can't speak for ourselves. So it's crucially important, as those of us who follow Christ and are seeking to love our neighbors, that we have these discussions with our families so that we can equip them with knowledge of what we would say when our own voices fall silent, and so that they can have peace and discernment about the way forward, knowing all the while that our hope rests not in any technology, but in Christ who makes all things new.